Fatherless behavior is destroying America. You can see the effect that fatherlessness has had on Gen Z, where Gen Z is terrible in the workforce, Gen Z behaves terribly in society. Gen Z is just, they are definitely one of the worst performing generations in the last 100 years. But then Gen Alpha, the generation born after Gen Z, well, they are rushing in fast. I've said it plenty of times that Gen Alpha will be a large prison population because consider this, over 43% of Gen Alphas come from fatherless homes. And those are old statistics. Evidently, it's above 50% at this point. Gen Alpha, they are the most illiterate generation in the last 100 years, surpassing Gen Z. And when you factor in fatherless homes, along with illiteracy, those are large predictors of ending up in prison. Gen Alpha is getting into, physical issues with adults, throwing hands. I mean, even I'm going to put on a video showing you what Gen Alpha is literally out here doing, and you can see the consequences that are going to be coming. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video.
Homecoming face ass.
Shut the fuck up!
Versus that don't look like this.
But you got those ugly ass shirts on that.
I'm frying his ass. His deep fried Oreo head ass.
I said, when I go one of them in a fry pan, they ass gonna burn.
Yep, you just watched what I watched, and I almost have no words. But police are the problem though, right guys? That's a product of systemic racism. We can talk about instances of police brutality or police officers could possibly do their jobs better, but if we are not fixing the cultural problems that are brewing in houses like this, we're gonna have a massive problem. Those little kids who are doing and saying those heinous things in that video, they're gonna grow up. And what do you think that's gonna look like?
Yeah. Guys, this is... Please stop calling me a prophet. Guys, I learned so much from the manosphere. You know where my wisdom comes from? It comes from older men. It comes from older men and common sense. And I understand that, common sense is something that is not taught anymore, but it's just common sense. If you are growing up in a fatherless home, you're going to have fatherless behavior, all right? Unemployed behavior. This is it. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. No one has to be a genius to see where these idiots are going. I mean, it's I mean, it's hard not to call them idiots. It's hard not to call them idiots. You're like, bro, they're like 2 and 3. They're idiots. They're idiots. Look at this fatherless behavior. It's like, what am I supposed to say? These idiots, they're going to be the same exact people that they are, in 10 years and off to prison. Yes, I said 10 years. 10 years. They're not, because a lot of them are not even going to make it to adulthood. All right. That's like a 2 or 3 year old, right? Not even, maybe, I don't even know if it's 2, maybe 1. All right. Within 10 years, they're not going to make it. A lot of them are not even going to make it into their teen years. But by the time they make it to 13, they've already been arrested multiple times. They are going to be a large prison population. That's going to be, that's where they're going to spend a lot of their time. They're going to grow up in the prison system, and a lot of them are going to go in and they're never going to come back out. These people are already practicing takeovers. And when you look at the state of American society, let me make it very, very clear. American society is responsible for what's happening to these young people. It absolutely is. Because there's so many problems that we have in Western society today. There's a lot of people who don't want to acknowledge that the opportunities that people once had in Western society just don't exist anymore. It's much more difficult than ever for a young man to develop himself into something of value. When you look at the cost of education, when you look at the inflation, don't get me wrong, it's not an excuse. It's 100% not an excuse. I'm not making an excuse, guys. I want to be very, very clear. But it is hard. It's really, really bad. When you compare the opportunities that were available 20 years ago to what people are going through now. When you compare the value of money, when you compare the value of education, like we need to stop playing around and denying it. Like these people, Gen Z, their high school diplomas and their college degrees are garbage. Companies do not view them as being equivalent to a high school diploma or a college degree that was earned by a millennial or a Gen Xer or even a boomer. And that's because the standards fell so bad, going back years, especially after 2020, where these people began graduating from high school and getting degrees that they did not earn. They began removing, exit exams. So basically, the exams you needed to pass before you graduated high school, entrance exams, the exams you needed to pass before you entered into college. They removed them. They even removed SAT requirements. So you actually had to study for the SAT or ACT or both. And they removed these exam requirements. So now, when these people are going to college, they don't have the skill sets. They don't have the proper skill sets for college. And they shouldn't be graduating from college. They're being, they're literally having things where they demand that the professor completely eliminate, the exams and give them all passing grades. And it's like when I went to college, there were some classes where, I got not a lot of D's, but I got a couple D's a few times. Sometimes it was because I was carrying such a large load of credits. There was a semester where I was like carrying like 23 credits in one semester because I needed to graduate. Like, bro, it was time to go. It was time to go. I needed to get out. And I was carrying like 23 credits. And like, I was doing well in every class, but I was having problems with, I'm going to be real. It sounds strange to you, but this happens to some people. The classes that I had problem with, like there were two classes I had like a lot of trouble with in college. History. It was both history classes. No. It was art. It was an art class and a history class. Both classes that you just like almost that we had to take these classes evidently, but I just because like when your brain is so focused on like technical stuff, crunching numbers, you don't have time. Like I'm not gonna sit here and remember this garbage. I don't care about it. But I studied hard, because it was like boom, 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 just remember. But it was just hard. And like literally D is for degree. D is for degree. You do whatever you have to do to get that passing grade. Show up to every class, work hard, and that's it. But I worked very, very hard for my education. Gen Z doesn't know anything about that, and Gen Alpha is even worse. Many of them won't even finish high school. Some of them won't even finish middle school. They're going to be out in the streets, and they're going to be creating all kinds of havoc in the streets. They're a very, very bad generation. They're a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. And you can see exactly where these children are going to be headed. The police officers, these kids were so young, so little that you can't put a toddler in handcuffs. At some point, it's going to happen. But those handcuffs wouldn't even fit them. Zip ties would. But imagine taking this little toddler in front of a judge. It wouldn't. It's like the judge would say, it would be crazy. You could were you going to take him to a mental institution? Like this is nonsense. Pump him up full of something. Like this is horrible. Like imagine trying to give this kid medication because his behavior is this bad. You'll just turn him into a zombie. And these drugs are not good for the heart. Or for the brain. Like it's not about race. This is what happens. And guys, these are we look at these videos and you see little black kids, but I showed you a video earlier of a little white kid who just went absolutely ballistic. Like this is a serious problem. Like it's like this fatherless crap that we saw in the black community has spread far and wide. And we have a generation, a multiracial generation of these children coming up who are just literally terrible because they have no control of their emotions. They have no respect for authority. And this is what happens when you have children raised in fatherless homes predominantly. And all of these single mothers are feminists. And they're like, "Oh, these single ladies, put your hands up." Like, put your hands up. The only ones that are taking, put your hands up for what? For the government, because that's who you belong to right now. You belong to the state. You and your kids, because this is the garbage that's come out. Like this is the garbage that we have to put up with in society. This is why all the white men are walking away. Like, people are like, well, MWA sounds like MGTOW. They're very different. MWAs, a lot of MWAs want to get married, want to have children. Some don't, some do. But a commonality is that they're walking away from what doesn't work. And predominantly, they're walking away from Western society and relationships in Western society. If they find a good woman in Western society, great. But for every one good woman, there's 20 good men chasing her. And you look at the way men are treated in society and devalued in society, it's no wonder men are just leaving. Or if they do stay in Western society, they work just enough to survive and thrive, and then no more. Now, you can't tell a man how to walk away. Every man, MGTOW is a collectivist. It's a collectivist concept. If you even piss them off, they'll get on top of you. MWAs aren't fighting for nothing. We're not fighting for our label. We're not fighting nothing. We're just walking away. Over here chewing bubble gum and chilling, grilling up some nice steaks. I'm always getting pissed off with y'all seeing some of the amazing food you're cooking. All right, some of y'all grilling. I mean, my goodness, I don't like chicken like that. I like chicken, but I don't like it like that. But I've seen some of the videos on your channel, because I go to your channel sometimes, and I'm looking at it. It's like, my gosh, no, this man is not cooking up that chicken like that. I see the grill out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, ooh, did he season that chicken? Like, I'm just being so real. So y'all breaking my heart. Chicken parmesan, laying down the steak, and I see some of the steaks. Some of y'all cooking catfish. I'm allergic. I'm unfortunately allergic now. I ate plenty of fish growing up, but as an adult, you gain all kinds of allergies. So I have a terrible seafood allergy. It started out with shrimp, and now I can't eat any seafood at all. I haven't had fish in I can't say it's been exactly 10 years, but I haven't had fish in let's see here, it's been about 7 years now, I think. 7 years. It's been a long time. Been a good long time. But I see you guys cooking up catfish. I'm like, look at that. Damn, y'all are throwing down, And could you imagine all the women out here in Western society that, they have to just DoorDash it? Y'all are just Chef Boyardee it up in the kitchen. Guys, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, you want even more of this content, head over to the Men Walking Away channel, where I release daily videos. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel in the description of the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Support the content. Enjoy the content. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Fatherless behavior is destroying America. Let me know your thoughts on this. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away. And cheers.